Now, you might guess that Trent Wells is visualizing his high bar routine. If not, maybe he's riding a wave somewhere else. He does go to Cal Berkeley, so they take the mental aspect of life a little differently there. The United States with the big lead over China and Romania. Trent Wells is up on the high bar.
And this is a very, very unique exercise. He gets to a 10-0 start in an untraditional way.
What I think is cool, Tim Daggett, is that he started gymnastics in 1984, meaning he was inspired by you, Bart, and the rest of the gold medal guys.
Well, this is nice high bar. A little bit of a mistake there, but watch this element. Very nice work, and he'll do another full spin right there. Yes. This is like a different era coming back into vogue. All these pirouetting elements.
It always looks good when you stick it at the end. How was the rest of it?
Well, very, very, very different. Like I said, not the big release elements like the Kovacs and things like that. Chinese love gymnastics, too. Every time he was up on the event, both the men and the women watching the skills he was doing, he does some of them the best in the world.
Back now to the Chinese. Li Dezhi started off horribly, rebounded, then fell back a little bit. And that's sort of the Chinese thing that we've seen.
Yeah.
In 1 minute, they look like they can go and blow away everybody, and then they'll fall off.
And on this event, you only have one shot.
Beautiful. Double twisting. Sukahara, perfect landing. Tremendous power off the horse. Very, very difficult. Not out of a 10-point, but worth 9.8 maximum. Named and popularized by Sukahara a long, long time ago, but he does it in the laid out position and adds 2 twists. My, how gymnastics has grown.
A 9.525 for Li Dezhi. Meanwhile, the Romanians are on the parallel bars, and so far Marian Dragulescu has a 9.4 on the floor, 9.65 on the horse, but an 8.70 on the rings.
Again, another element that you'll see from this Romanian team are a number of double backs, both forward and backwards on this event.
Parallel bars has become one of the most punishing events in men's gymnastics. Your arms can take quite a beating, like right here.
Punishing, but really an exciting addition.
Two of them. You know, Al, I found it fascinating that we asked these guys, how do you qualify for your world or Olympic team? They said, frankly, we have no idea. They don't know if it's going to be purely by competition, purely by coaches' decisions. They just don't know.
That is weird. Meanwhile, Blaine Wilson's taking this rotation off. He's leaving the team to fend for themselves. The Pontiac International Team Championships continuing in Richmond, Virginia with Beth Ruyak and Elfie Schlegel, Tim Daggett. I'm Al Trautwig. This is Jason Gatson. His day is pretty much like plotting out the Dow Jones. Starts way down here and just goes way up.
You just saw a very unique style from Trent Wells, and now from Jason Gatson, you're going to see a very acrobatic style on this event.
A little bit more traditional right here. He'll do that popular release of Kovacs. A lot of what we call Stalter work, those elements in a straddle or in a pike position right there. That one very difficult in what we call an L grip position. Get some bonus tenths for that. But as Elfie mentioned, this is what he does so well. Flipping and twisting. And I was just about to say sticking.
He's not going to be happy with that landing.
That's unusual for Jason.
A nice handstand there, L grip. Great job.
Yoichi Tomita, what a great outlook on life he has.
Very, very inspiring man.
All right, now we're going over to Zhao Yongfeng of China. Remember the injured ankle from before when he was on the floor exercise. Did not compete on the pommel horse, and so he's going to give it a test here. And as you can see there, it's on his mind. It may be still tender.
And talking about being tender, but combine that with what he's going to show us could very well be the most difficult and intricate piece of gymnastics in the entire competition. There are so many things that can go wrong. He'll do a round off onto the board, half turn, leave the horse, do 1.5 flips with 1.5 twists. Oh! Unbelievable. So incredibly, fantastically difficult. With that ankle hurting.
You know, it really is amazing. What does the vault take, start to finish? 4 seconds? And when you think of all that he has crammed into those seconds, and the ankle is really bothering him.
He actually came off the podium and rolled over on his ankle again.
So look at what happens here. Turns his body around, do a half turn on, leave the horse, 1.5 twists, 1.5 flips. You know, I've actually tried to teach a similar vault to a couple of my athletes, and it is just so difficult to do this vault. Remarkable.
He may need a little bit more of an elaborate tape job if he plans on continuing on in the competition. They're going to do what they did before. Zhao Yongfeng's score on the vault, an admirable 9.70, even higher. They should have given him a 10 just for going on that ankle.
I think that's the highest score we've seen so far, but I definitely agree with you, Al. You do a vault like that, that should be 9-9 category. That was incredible.
Jason Gatson's score on 9.325. Now it's Yuki Tomita. By the way, why isn't Blaine Wilson in the high bar for the United States?
Well, there is no all-around competition at all in this event, and he's struggled a little bit on high bar. There's no real need for him to go because the USA, frankly, they have 5 guys that are very good on this event.
Speaking of great events, this is one of Yuki's specialties right here.
Those intricate Stalter elements. Right there, another one. All of these are giving him valuable bonus tenths. He chooses to do his release late in the exercise. Another Kovacs.
Same move that Jason Gatson did.
A little bit of form there. You saw the bent knees. It's going to cost at least a couple tenths. Dismount, double-double.
Yeah! Good job. Great fight, great fight. Hey, that's all we need.
Well, Yuki doesn't seem too thrilled. Yoichi, his dad, we talked about them a lot before. He'll be going as one of the assistants to the World Championships. What's the rest of the lineup?
Well, actually, Peter Corman, head coach, and Vitaly Marinich, another one of the coaches at the Olympic Training Center, will be the other assistant.
Now Chris Young. Aside from the 8.5 on the rings, he's had a very consistent day. And the one thing that strikes me about Chris, Yuki's score a 9.15. That's why he wasn't celebrating. Chris looks good doing what he does. He makes a very good, to me, visual presentation of himself.
Yeah, no question about it. And right off the top here, he'll be looking really good if he grabs that bar.
Yeah, these are the type of moves that the audience can really relate to. They want to see the high-flying acrobatic skills.
Full twisting, laid out to Tkachev. Very difficult. He's got one more. Not just hard to do that element, but hard to do it. Very few people can do it and keep their legs together.
Well, he likes it, and I'll tell you what, double oohs and ahs from the crowd here at the Richmond Coliseum for the release moves.
Big gymnastics, you know.
Hey, we need that one. We need that one. Come on, guys, let's go. Come on, hurry on, guys.
A couple of years back, Chris was really struggling on high bar, but this skill is actually a super E, so each time he performs it by itself, gives him 0.3 of a point back. He does not one, does two, can really capitalize on this element. One move like this, if it's the right one, it can change your whole landscape on that event.
Chris's score, a 9.350. Very, very happy about that. And now, after 4 rotations here in the Pontiac International Team Championships, the United States is still in front and still by a very comfortable margin. More from Virginia after this.